All right, today we're tackling the one idea, the absolute game changer behind our entire modern AI revolution. We're talking about everything from ChatGPT to mind-blowing image generation. It's called the attention mechanism, and we're about to demystify exactly how it works.
So, what was that magic ingredient? What was that single breakthrough that took AI from being kind of clunky and interesting to the world-changing force we see today? Well, that's the big question we're going to answer right now. And the answer is surprisingly intuitive.
To really get why this was such a big deal, you gotta look at the before and after. The jump from old AI to new AI was, well, it was massive. The old way was slow, sequential, and super forgetful. The new way? It processes everything all at once, has a fantastic memory, and can dynamically focus on what's actually important.
So let's rewind the clock a bit and talk about the before times. For years, AI research was kind of stuck. They'd hit this wall, a problem that came to be known as the sequential bottleneck. To understand the solution, we first have to understand the wall. You see, the big players back then were these things called recurrent neural networks, or RNNs. And their biggest problem, by far, was memory. Just imagine you're reading a really long, complicated book. By the time you get to the last chapter, you've completely forgotten the main character's name from chapter 1. That's what was happening to these AIs. They read word by word by word, and the context just evaporated. Now, the technical name for this, if you're curious, is the vanishing gradient problem. But here's what that actually means. When the AI is learning, it sends a little correction signal backward through the sentence to adjust itself. But over a long sentence, that signal would get weaker and weaker with each step until it was basically a whisper. So the model could never learn the link between a word at the beginning and a word at the end. And if that wasn't bad enough, there was another huge problem. Especially for things like translation, these models had to literally squeeze the entire meaning of a sentence, whether it was 5 words or 50, into one single fixed-size chunk of data. It's like trying to summarize a whole movie in a single emoji. All the nuance, all the critical detail, just gone. This was the bottleneck. But then everything changed. A new idea popped up, and it was inspired by something you and I do constantly without even thinking about it. We pay attention. So instead of this one word at a time slog, the attention mechanism basically gives the AI a superpower. It lets the model see the entire sentence all at once. And then it can dynamically look around and decide for itself which words are the most relevant for whatever it's doing. It puts a spotlight on what matters and lets the rest fade into the background. And you know, what's really cool is how this whole thing started. It wasn't meant to be a revolution. At first, it was just a clever little patch to help those old RNNs remember things a bit better. But it worked really well. So well that researchers had this massive aha moment. What if this patch wasn't a patch at all? What if this idea was so powerful it could be the foundation for a whole new kind of AI? Okay, so paying attention sounds simple, right? It's a great metaphor. But how does a machine actually do that? Well, to understand that, we need to pop the hood and look at 3 concepts: query, key, and value. Probably the best way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like a super sophisticated search engine, but for words inside a sentence. Every word sends out a query, which is like its search term, asking, hey, who here has context that's relevant to me? It then compares that query to the key of every other word. You can think of the key as the title of that word's information, and when it finds a strong match, it pulls the value, which is the actual useful information that word holds. So let's walk through it, step by step. First, for every single word, the model generates those 3 things we just talked about: a query, a key, and a value. Second, it scores the relevance. Each word's query is compared against every other word's key. Third, it normalizes those scores, turning them into percentages, basically a cheat sheet of where to focus its attention. And finally, it aggregates or combines all that information, creating a new, super context-aware version of every word. Okay, you might be thinking, wait a minute. If it's looking at everything at once, how does it know the order of the words? And that is a fantastic question. The solution is simple, but brilliant. Something called positional encodings. Just think of it like giving every word a little serial number or a GPS coordinate that tells the model exactly where it is in the sentence. Problem solved. And all of this brings us to the moment the earthquake really hit. The year is 2017, A team of researchers from Google publish a paper that takes this idea of attention and builds an entire system around it, throwing out all the old, slow, sequential stuff. And the title of their paper was a statement. Attention is all you need. Seriously, that was the title. This wasn't just a paper, it was a manifesto. It was a bold claim that you could and should ditch the old step-by-step processing completely. They argued that attention was so good, it was literally all you needed to build a top-tier AI. And you know what? They were right. And that paper gave birth to what we now call the transformer architecture. It's the engine behind basically all the AI you hear about today. Because by getting rid of that one word at a time process, transformers could look at every word simultaneously. This meant they could be trained on modern computer hardware at unbelievable speeds, which is what allowed us to scale them up into the massive models we have today. And the smart folks who designed the transformer didn't stop there. They came up with something called multi-head attention. Think of it this way. Why have just one attention mechanism when you can have lots of them, all working in parallel? It's like having multiple pairs of eyes looking at the same sentence. One head might be looking for grammar, another might be tracking who did what to whom, and a third might be finding synonyms. It just creates this incredibly rich, layered understanding of language. All right, so we've been deep in the technical weeds. Let's pull back up and see how this one idea is literally changing the world around us. Because this isn't just theory, it's the engine powering so much of our modern tech. So, those huge language models like GPT? Yep, that's transformers. But it goes so far beyond that. We now have vision transformers using attention to analyze images. It's being used in healthcare to spot patterns in medical scans. It's powering the recommender systems on your favorite streaming service. And it's behind the speech recognition on your phone. It has become a universal tool for building intelligence. And if you want to see the magic in a single sentence, this is it. Look at this. The robot picked up the wrench because it was heavy. When the AI sees the word it, how does it know what it refers to? Self-attention. The query from it looks around and finds a super strong match with the key from wrench. So the model knows, without a doubt, that the wrench was heavy, not the robot. Older models failed at this stuff all the time. And that's really the bottom line here. The fact that this one idea works so well in so many different areas proves it's not just a clever trick. It's a fundamental building block for any system that needs to understand complex relationships in data. Which kind of leaves us with one final, pretty deep thought, doesn't it? The power of AI attention is its incredible ability to learn and focus on what's relevant. But that forces us to ask a very human question. In our complex world, who gets to decide what's relevant in the first place? What the AI pays attention to is just a reflection of what we tell it to pay attention to. And that, I think, is something worth thinking about.